Okay.
Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce today's guest, Sue Burke. Sue is a certified personal trainer with ACE certification, an additional certification from Saddleback College. She works with clients of all levels of fitness, including with working with older individuals with mobility difficulties and women who are post-menopausal athletes. She provides training on an in-person basis in the Lake Forest and surrounding area or via Zoom. She's a mother of three, grandmother of two, and one of her many passions is that she's a long distance runner and a triathlete, and she's a Zeta sister too from UCLA. You're going to learn so much about what you really can do no matter your age or situation. Welcome, Sue, and thank you for taking the time to meet with me today.
Thank you, Colleen.
I just wanted to start by asking you a few questions about why did you become a personal trainer?
So, during COVID, the company I was working for shut down and I was out of work. I've always been an athlete and I've always enjoyed working out. So, when I was out of work, I was looking for something to do. And I decided to, I saw an online course in personal training. So I went online and I decided to pursue it. But one of the things that drove me to decide to pursue it was that there were, I've tried a lot of different personal trainers, and I had a wonderful trainer who I was working with, who was fantastic, and she moved away during COVID. So I couldn't find anybody who would take me seriously. A lot of, younger, especially male personal trainers,
Mhm.
don't take older women seriously
Wow.
as athletes. And so it was very hard to find somebody who not only understood what um, what I what the needs are of older female athletes, but also would take us seriously as
Right,
athletes.
right. And that leads me to the next point as to what your training approach is or your coaching style. What do you prefer when you're working with clients?
I'm pretty laid back. But I don't, you know, I my oh gosh, that's a hard one. Um, I will push you as far as you want to be pushed. If somebody, and really style depends on the client. I like to um kind of give you options, and you can do what you feel comfortable doing. But if you say to me, I want to be pushed harder, then I will push you harder.
Right.
Um, so a lot of what we do starts with goal setting, and what is it that you want to accomplish from our training sessions.
Right. And how would you track a fitness goal, for example?
Um, Again, it depends on what those goals are.
Okay.
A lot of my clients, like you said, a lot of my clients are older. They're mobility challenged. And for a lot of my clients, the goal is simply to be able to continue to do what they enjoy doing,
Right.
to be able to continue to get out and walk, to be able to continue to play with their grandchildren, or even, get out of bed in the morning and be able to have a productive day.
Right. Like some of the things we discussed on the phone that I myself have some challenges with, right? Um,
Right.
getting up and down off the floor or just basic things like opening something.
Right. So those goals, if that's your goal, then we track it by saying, okay, let's is it has it become easier to do those things? Do you feel more confident
Right.
doing those things?
Hmm.
Has if a client's in a state of deterioration, then has the deterioration slowed?
Right. Right.
And then some of my clients are actually, are athletes like myself.
Hmm.
And then the goal, then the measure is, are you improving? Is your performance in your sport improving?
Right. And
Um,
How would you
Yeah.
like incorporate fun into the personal training sessions when you're working with these clients as you're tracking their progress?
Again, it depends on the situation, but
Mhm.
music is always helpful. A lot of my in-person classes are done to music.
Okay.
Um, I like upbeat music. With a lot of my older clients, I use songs from the 60s and 70s
I
that,
like that generation too.
yeah. Well, and it's music they can relate to, makes them feel, kind of gets the energy level up.
Right.
Sometimes, music doesn't work with the session, and then it's not, and I have to say, it's not necessarily always going to be fun.
That's true. Sometimes you don't want to do it some days.
Yeah. Yeah. And fun isn't necessarily always the goal. I mean,
Right.
fun is important, but it's not necessarily always the goal of the session.
And
We
do
can,
you have any personal client success stories that you wanted to share with us today?
I have a lot of, client successes, but a lot of it, again, it comes back to that. Um, are they have the has the deterioration stopped? I probably can't give us any specifics. Uh,
That's okay.
Success stories. I've had a few clients. I had one gentleman, he was wheelchair bound. Um, during the classes, he would do everything he possibly could, but he couldn't do everything.
Right.
But I considered him a success because he came every single week, and he had a wonderful attitude, and he worked at it, and he did. And I did see some improvement. I did see his mobility get a little bit better, but his mobility was never going to improve,
Right.
but his life improved.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. That is a success story.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned that you offer some different types of programs. You do work with the elderly, but you also work with people who are mobility challenged. So I was just wondering what types of programs you offer exactly, and what do you charge for these types of programs in your classes?
So the classes, most of the classes I work with, the seniors are actually at senior living facilities. So that's just something I offer specifically to those senior living facilities. As an individual one-on-one basis, I can offer similar types of programs, but it's very personalized for my personal training clients. It's personalized to whatever your needs are. So we would go over the goals. We would, the first thing we do with any new client is an assessment. And that is, where are you right now? What are you capable of? Um, and then, we do a deep dive into any issues that you have, any health issues, any injuries, anything like that I need to be aware of. And
Right.
then I will write a plan, an exercise plan for that client. And then I'll share that with the client. I offer my classes via Zoom or in person. If you live close by, I have a gym in my garage. I can either come to you if you live in the Lake Forest, Mission Viejo, Laguna Hills, South Orange County, California area.
Mhm.
But if you're not, I work via Zoom as well.
Okay.
And so I would write a plan, share that plan with you, and then in each session we go through the plan. So it's about a 30-minute exercise routine that you would do. And you don't need to have a lot of equipment. If you're doing it via Zoom, you don't need to have a lot of equipment. I recommend a stability ball and some bands, and we can work with that. And then as you get stronger, I might recommend you purchase some lighter weights. Um, so that's how we would develop a plan. Each plan is individualized to the person I'm working with
Okay.
and their goals and their needs. And I charge a it's I charge $25 for a 30-minute session, and with a minimum of 4 sessions. So it's about a month. And then if you buy 8 sessions at a time, I will add one more. So it's 9 sessions for 200
Okay.
for $200. And that usually gets us through a couple of months because it's usually about once a week. I do recommend, I would love to work with people more than once a week. I know that it can get pricey. So I do recommend that if you're not going to do more than once a week of training, that you actually do. I can write plans that you can do on your own when you're not working with me as well.
Understood. And is there anything additional that they would benefit from by signing up with your personal classes or any group sessions that you might offer? Is there anything else that you want to share?
Well, I'm trying to build a community. I haven't gotten very far on that yet because being, an older individual, I am not as tech savvy and not as social media savvy as some of you younger folks.
Understood.
So I'm trying to build a community similar to your wellness journey journal or
Oh,
on
fabulous.
Facebook.
Yep.
I do have a Facebook group. I don't even know what it's called off the top of my head
That's okay.
because I
When you
haven't
get it to
really,
me, when you get it to me, we can promote it on there for you.
yeah. And and I'll be adding content to that. I am not a nutritionist, so I can only, from a nutritional standpoint, I can share um, standard practices, but I can't do individual nutrition plans. So, I'll share standard practices. We can share recipes, health ideas. Um, every once in a while, I throw out challenges. Right now, a different group that I'm in, a challenge I'm going to borrow from a different group that I'm in right now is we're trying to. I'm in a different group that we're all a bunch of older ladies trying to lose weight, and we've got a challenge going where we post everything we eat
Oh,
to
wow.
this group, pictures of everything we eat, and it is amazing to me how much more conscious I am of what I'm
Absolutely.
eating when I have to post a picture of it.
Makes you accountable for what you're eating, right?
Well, there's always accountability. It's always been account, but it's just, oh, I have to post a picture of that, and then somebody's going to judge me for.
Oh my. Yes, I get that too.
So, the little challenges like that, or fun things like, walking challenges, or around the holidays, doing holiday challenges, things
Yep.
to keep us motivated during the times when the motivation tends to lag.
Right. And I agree with that completely. I want to thank you so much, Sue, for speaking with us today. I am inspired by your energy, and I hope to be able to complete a half marathon one day myself. If anyone wants to reach out to Sue about her classes or other personal sessions, the best way to contact Sue is trainwithsueb@gmail.com. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And as soon as we get it, when her Facebook page is up and ready, we'll be happy to share that as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. I have learned a wealth of knowledge about your classes and your training sessions, and I can't thank you enough for spending the time with me.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate the boost to my business. I hope that I look forward to working with you and anybody else who is interested in getting a little healthier, stronger.
Awesome. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.